Now, the extraction shooter genre has absolutely surged in popularity over the last few years, and honestly, why not? Because it's bloody brilliant. Forming a squad with pals to do the job, get the loot and make it out unscathed can be a whole lot of fun when the gunplay is tight and there's enough variety to keep you coming back for more. And so with that in mind, here's 10 upcoming genre offerings that you absolutely need to keep your eye on. Number 10. Hunger. The original developers of hit multiplayer shooter Hell Let Loose are back with Hunger, a PvPvE extraction RPG set amid the backdrop of a plague-infested Napoleonic Europe. You'll embark on expeditions across a land populated by grotesque infected humans, survival of which allows you to level up, grow stronger, enhance your reputation, and craft better gear. Unlike many extraction shooters though, there's no squad wipe here. Even in death, progress and story beats persist, ensuring that Hunger feels like a living, breathing world. Beyond that, developer Good Fun Corporation is heavily invested in a sense of community, with a hub world called the Chateau where players can hang out between expeditions. Though the similarities to Hunt Showdown are undeniable, Hunger's eye-wateringly beautiful aesthetic and emphasis on ensuring every single run is meaningful should definitely help it stand out. Hunger will release in early access for PC at an undisclosed date. Number 9. Exoborne. Exoborne is an immediately refreshing extraction shooter because it doesn't hurl you into just another world populated by zombies or generic monsters. Your biggest foe here is nature itself. The game unfolds in a world torn asunder by Mother Nature, where dynamic weather patterns can bombard the player with tornadoes, lightning strikes, and storms, making extraction of resources even more challenging. And that's without getting into the hostile human factions that you'll encounter, and other enemy combatants controlled by real players. To have a hope in hell of survival, you'll don a powerful, customizable exo rig as you explore the land of Colton County and attempt to scavenge loot. It's tough to do anything new with this genre at this point, but Exoborne at least sounds like it's trying. On top of this, developer Shark Mob AB has stated a desire to make the game more casual friendly, with a lack of server wipes and plans for skill-based matchmaking. Exoborne will release on PC, PS5 and Xbox consoles at an undisclosed date. Number 8. Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders is perhaps the single most anticipated extraction shooter in the works right now. The game is set on, wait for it, a post-apocalyptic Earth ruled by dangerous Arc robots, forcing humanity to live underground. But those brave humans known as Raiders venture above ground to collect resources for the sake of humanity's longevity, bringing them into direct conflict with the machines. A run consists of a 30-minute loop where you'll be able to join forces with 2 other players, venture topside and search for items. Here you'll face off against both hostile NPC robots and other human players, and in the event of death, you'll lose all of that sweet loot. Though Embark Studios changed the game from a free-to-play title into a paid release last year, the high level of polish and strong positivity surrounding recent beta tests seem to justify that decision. It wouldn't be remotely surprising if Arc Raiders becomes a Helldivers-esque hit, and of all the extraction shooters gearing up for release, it suddenly seems that the most likely to break out of the genre's pretty niche fandom. Arc Raiders releases for PC, PS5 and Xbox consoles on October the 30th. Number 7. Beautiful Light. Beautiful Light has been described as a cross between Stalker and Hunt Showdown, a tactical first-person extraction shooter where 6 teams of 3 operators must locate and extract an artifact. You'll face opposition from rival player-controlled operators, and here's a fun rub, you've additionally got to contend with 6 monstrous creatures which are also controlled by other players, adding up to 24-player mayhem. Developer Deep World SA has touted the game as a hardcore experience with a steep difficulty curve, minimal HUD, and intense focus on immersion above almost anything else. It's suddenly an incredible looking game in terms of pure aesthetics, and if its gameplay can scratch the multiplayer itch that's absent from Stalker 2, then it could very well carve out a sizable niche for itself. Here's hoping. Number 6. Project Ethos. Project Ethos is a new free-to-play title from a collective of ex-Dead Space and Call of Duty developers which collides the third-person shooter with hero shooter mechanics and roguelike elements, because why the hell not apparently. Each match invites players to experiment with their playstyle through evolutions, semi-random upgrades unique to each hero, which can provide a serious leg up for taking down the competition and extracting resources with your 3-person squad safely in tow. The bright, colourful aesthetic is undeniably, perhaps even shamelessly Fortnite inspired, but developer 31st Union evidently hopes that Project Ethos' hybrid of disparate multiplayer game types will help it stand out. Time will tell, as it ever does, but in the very least, there's little reason not to give this a try when it launches, seeing as it's free to play and all. Number 5. Marathon. Even though Marathon has been put through the ringer in recent months, it would be silly to ignore the new extraction shooter from Halo and Destiny developers Bungie. The gameplay loop typically involves up to 6 teams of 3 players competing to find loot and successfully extract it from the map before being killed by other teams. Extracted items can then be used to your advantage in subsequent matches. In addition to the prevailing PvP element, Marathon will also feature PvE gameplay, with AI-controlled enemies and obstacles to take on. Bungie has also promised that the overarching narrative will shift over time depending on player actions and is defined by in-game seasons. Despite Bungie's success in the genre though, Marathon has faced a bevy of PR setbacks, from the decision to charge a premium price for the game to middlingly received alpha tests and the recent discovery of stolen art assets in the game. Bungie recently indefinitely delayed Marathon from its planned September release date, and while it's easy to be wary of the game's prospects, considering the pedigree involved, there's every hope that it will take the time to get it right. Number 4. Sand. In a sea of Me Too extraction shooters, Sand definitely looks like something truly unique. Set in an alternate 1910, you'll be tasked with traversing the sand dunes of the arid, procedurally generated world of Sophie in search of riches that are buried in the wasteland. You won't be doing so on foot though, you'll be operating giant mech walkers called tramplers, which serve as a transport, sanctuary, storage, and even a weapon for taking on attacking forces. Players will be given free rein to customize and improve their trampler, making them more efficient for teaming up with other players and also more easily able to fend off human foes and undead AI enemies. Now, nobody's going to accuse Sand of just doing the trendy thing, because this face-melting steampunk riff on the extraction shooter looks like a huge breath of fresh air. Number 3. Lost Rift. Another genre-bending take on the extraction shooter now, as Lost Rift fuses typical nab the loot gameplay and survival with base-building mechanics. After washing up on a beach at Pioneer's Landing, you and up to 5 players can join forces and explore a strange archipelago comprised of different biomes with their own unique challenges. You'll need to gather resources and build a camp to protect yourself from both natural disasters and the region's indigenous creatures. Once you've sufficiently stocked up, you can then embark on expeditions in Lost Rift's extraction mode, where you'll fend off against both human and AI-controlled foes while trying to make off with the shiniest of loot. Though islands are arguably the single most played out setting for the survival genre, combining this with an extraction shooter loop will hopefully help it stand out. Number 2. The Bornless. The Bornless is an action horror extraction shooter set within a richly atmospheric Lovecraftian world. In the game's central ritual mode, you and another player are tasked with navigating the fog-filled forests of Falmouth Island, collecting loot and battling both cultists and demons. You'll then need to complete an ancient ritual in order to trigger the final confrontation, where your location will be revealed to rival teams of players. Then it all comes down to fending off against the remaining players, finding the extraction point and getting the hell out of Dodge before the time runs out. Each successful run will help you build up your weapons and abilities for the next run, and you'll also be able to expand your cabin base into a huge mansion while joining forces with local factions. For those who love their horror but aren't so hot about going in alone, the Bornless looks like just the co-op ticket. The Bornless will release on PC at an undisclosed date. And number 1, the Forever Winter. And so we'll wrap this list up with a game that you can actually play today, even though it's technically not out yet. You see, The Forever Winter is a horror-themed extraction shooter where you'll attempt to scavenge resources from the corpses littering the post-apocalyptic land while also dealing with both murderous robots and warring armies. Despite allowing squads of up to 4 players, The Forever Winter is on the more hardcore end of extraction shooters, largely due to the aggression of enemy combatants and scarcity of resources. And this is all to say that you will die a lot. Though this high difficulty level may well have contributed to the game's Steam player count falling off a cliff within weeks of its early access release, general reception to the game has still been predominantly positive. Hopefully, it'll continue to go from strength to strength, leading up to a full-fat 1.0 launch. The Forever Winter is available now in early access on PC, with a 1.0 release set for an unspecified date. And there we go, my friends. Those were the top 10 upcoming extraction shooters you need to know about. Hope you enjoyed that, and let me know what you thought about it down in the comments section below. As always, I've been Jules. You can go follow me over on Blue Sky and Instagram, where it's at RetroJVideo is a 0. Hope to see you over there, and I hope that you're treating yourself well with love and respect, because you deserve the bloody best, alright? Catch you in a bit. Bye.